Okay, I'm going to try to do this again. I came out here last night to do a little update and the sun was so bright I couldn't see what I was doing. And when I got in, I realized that although I thought I was showing things, I really wasn't. So, okay, today is July 23rd and this is an update. Since the last time I was out here, I have ripped out a lot of things that were just taking up, well, they were, you know, pretty and attracting pollinators, but taking up space and blocking sunlight and airflow. So I removed a lot of marigolds and nasturtiums. The first place that I kind of thinned out was over here in the squash beds. I took out a lot of stuff over here. You can see there. I took out some here. I took out over here. By the time I got to the other side, it had started raining, so I left this nasturtium here. But I'm going to take that out because I noticed that the onions weren't doing well. The basil was getting leggy, and I think it's just because even though it was getting sun, there just wasn't good airflow. Anyway, so squash. I've gotten a lot of zucchini. These are zucchinis. These are Italian zucchini plants. I can't remember the exact name, but they're Baker Creek. And they are like a white Italian zucchini. And they're really good, but honestly, they have given me so many fruit that I have been giving them away by the bucketful. So I'm sharing them with the bunnies still, which you can see when I get in here. A lot of the male flowers have been kind of nibbled off right at the stalk. And of course I'm not going to see one now because I'm looking for it. Let me see here. They're withering and dying where they were bitten off. But yeah, so the bunnies have come in and they've just chewed off a lot. I'm starting to deal with some powdery mildew. It's been really rainy, and it is the end of July. And last night while I was out here, although I was really excited that I'm not seeing any pest pressure, like I haven't seen squash bugs or anything like that, while I was standing here looking at the tomatoes, which are in the next little section here, I realized something caught my eye, and I realized that I had squash bug eggs on the bottom of one of these leaves. So that I took care of by tearing it off and squishing those eggs. But I'm gonna have to come out here and look, because the minute I start to see bugs in this, honestly, I'm just gonna pull it out and make room for something else, because I don't love the zucchini that much, and I'm not down for dealing with the squash bugs. Anyway, okay, so next over here, the last time I was out here, I was also excited about the fact that my tomatoes were looking really healthy and lush, and foliage was green and there wasn't any blight. And then like 2 days later, different story. So I came out with my pruners and I took off all of the leaves that were, I mean, honestly, everything, this was nice and full, this whole area in here, and now it's empty. But everything that I pulled off or cut off was looking like pretty much like this friend here. So a couple of tips that I've learned about pruning for blight is, number one, when I have a little bottle, and I don't have it out here to show you, but I have a little bottle of like an empty spray bottle that I put just plain old rubbing alcohol in. Every time I snip, every time I would snip something off, like leaves or something like this, I take this spray and I spray the pruners, because that way it kills any fungal spores or disease that might be on there that would transfer disease from the branch that I just cut to the next branch that I'm about to go to. The other thing that I picked up is that I should start at the highest place where I see, so like if I was out here tonight, the highest place on the plant where I see any diseased leaves would be here. Starting up here and then moving to lower leaves instead of starting low and moving up. So My Dr. Witchies are blushing. I'm so excited. So to June 23rd, last year at this time, I had already harvested my first one, but I only really got one or two really big Dr. Witchies. This year, it looks like I'm going to get a good, I don't know, dozen, maybe. But now that they're starting to blush, I know that this is coming, and I'm excited because they're the best tasting tomatoes I've ever had. I'm not a huge tomato fan, but I do like making salsa with them. These I could just eat. The other thing that's over here are my onions. So there's a lot of really nice sized onions, and I'm basically using the garden as a storage bed here. Like I'm leaving them in the ground until I need them. Over here, there's the white onions here. My husband has taken a couple of these to make onion dip because he makes an onion dip. But yeah, I'm leaving these in the ground until I need them. They are what's called biennial. So this first year, even if I just left them, they're not going to bolt because this is their first year. If I left them until next year, or if I pulled them out and trimmed off the top and used them as what's called an onion set, which is what you buy in the store, or if you order, you'll order onion sets. Those are second year onions, and those are at the last year of what their perceived life cycle is. So they're really in a hurry to set seed and reproduce. Those are the onions that will really quickly bolt in the heat. But since I grew these from seeds and this is their first year, they're fine. These are my tie-dye tomatoes, and you can see I have one that is starting to blush. So yeah, this is exciting. On this side, I have my cucumbers. My cucumbers, I have been trying to diligently work on just thinning this out. These little guys here, these side shoots, they will grow like literally overnight. I feel like I can come out here and everything is pruned back or tied up or trained up the trellis, and then I come out the next morning and there's all these little like side shoots. So what happens is, for the most part, I'm trying to, although I'm not pruning everything down to one lead, if you start at the bottom and kind of come up, I try to stay with like one main column without too many coming off to the side, because the side branches, number one, they get out of control, and number two, since they're all connected to one stem, it ultimately decreases the amount of cucumbers that you're going to get. But like here, so you can see like the main one coming up. Like this is a side shoot. Now I am practical enough that I'm going to leave this little baby cucumber on here. But see where the growth edge is here? I'm gonna pull this off so that we don't get out of control. Same thing up here, because you can see this is kind of like the main guy that's coming and winding its way up here. This is just a side shoot. Oh, this is a sucker. All it's gonna do is take energy from the rest of the plant. So I'm gonna get rid of that guy. Anyway, and I'll come out here and finish doing that because I really just want the cucumbers to go up the trellis in one, in a column instead of being everywhere. Do I have? Oh, I have one there. It's not quite big enough, but I'll be honest with you, I get desperate, so I'll probably come out here and pick it later anyway because, oops, leaf got in the way. Because I just love these cucumbers. These are silver slicers, so they are a white slicing cucumber, and another one. They're very mild. The skin is thin, and it's not. It's kind of like the same as like a burpless cucumber. For whatever reason, the acid, the enzyme that's produced by cucumbers that attracts squash bugs and cucumber beetles is not as strong with these, and so I don't have a lot of pest pressure. I hesitate to say that because the last time I said it, I jinxed myself. I'm looking to see if I have one over here, a little baby over here. So, where are you? There you are. This is a salt and pepper. So these are These are also white cucumbers, but they are a smaller variety and they're more for like pickling. The silver slicers are for slicing and eating in salads and things, and then the salt and peppers are more pickling. I have green beans here. This is like I've been planting green beans with the intention of trying to harvest them since like mid-April, and I have yet to get a harvest because every time I get close, the bunnies find a way in and eat all my my leaves and the flowers. That's the word. So right now, I'm holding out hope that I might get some, as long as I can keep this closed. Here I have one area where I put some some watermelons at the corner of a bed, and I'm letting them trail out. So I'm doing the same thing with these weeds as I am with the side shoots on the cucumbers, because I don't want them to get out of control. So like, I don't want this to grow forever. So I'm just going to pinch off the edge, the growth edge. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I'm trying it and we'll see how it works. I don't see any watermelon babies in here yet, but I do see flowers, so it shouldn't be too long. Okay, I have more green beans over here, and you can see the stinking bunnies knocked over the support that I had back here. So I came out 2 mornings ago. This was knocked back and they had gotten in there, and you can probably still see where they bit all of the flower buds off. But I have more coming, so I'll double down. Eventually I'll probably have to invest in like an actual fence. Ah, there we go. There you can see where they nubbed everything off. So yeah, this here is a honey nut squash that is going to grow up this trellis, I hope. It's like a butternut, but it's like a little baby butternut. They're kind of like individual serving sizes because I am really the only one that eats them. I'm the only one really that eats any vegetables in my house. That same thing, honey nut squash. Tomato experiment that I just stuck a big pruned edge into the soil, and it's growing like crazy. Still not sure whether it's a Dr. Witchy or a tie-dye, but I did take it from over there, so it's one of those two. My cilantro that I let just kind of go to seed, and you can see there's lots of, actually technically I think the word is, it's now considered coriander, but they're cilantro seeds. So I will collect these. There are a lot of them that have already fallen in here, and that's going to repopulate my cilantro. More watermelon. I planted 2 varieties, or I started 2 varieties. I started Orange Glow and I started Crimson Sweet, and I had them nice and labeled until I planted them. And now I really don't remember which is which. Looking to see if I see any baby bumps, and I do not. Peppers that I had to come through here the other day and put supports in front of, kind of on the fly, because it was raining really hard, and these are getting so heavy now with fruit that they were all falling over. So I just kind of like threw up some barriers in front to keep them upright. There's a bell pepper here. I think this one is, I can't even see what I'm doing. I think this one is a Crimson Carillon, or Carillion. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. These are jalapenos. Next to those, I have my Pippin's Golden Honey. Now these are the only these are the only peppers that I am aware of, or that I've grown, that don't start green. All peppers start green. Red ones, orange ones, yellow ones, they all start green and then mature to their full color as they mature. These start purple. And the first year that I grew them, I started eating them because, you know, the flowers are purple. I thought that was what they were supposed to be. They aren't really that tasty, so I wasn't really sure what the fuss was about. But a couple of them got away from me, and then they actually, so they go from purple to yellow to green to orange to like this like really mellow peachy color, and when they get to that color, they're so sweet. I was blown away. So they're on my must grow list ever since then. What do I have here? I have more bell peppers. Oh no, I'm sorry, these are Lesha peppers. So you can kind of see the shape on these. They're like a funnel shape. These will be red. They're green now because they're not mature, but these will be red. They're supposed to be really, really super sweet. More lessias and some jalapenos, and then yeah, lots of coriander / cilantro seeds and volunteer Thai basil. Okay, this is the next big area that I really just like hacked away at because of all the rain and the fact that the airflow and just the sunlight were just completely being blocked. I found out that all these onions are really doing well. They were really hidden by the overgrowth of marigolds and nasturtiums. I also had to go through and really do some work staking up these guys, these peppers, because they had grown in really funky ways because of how they were being like crowded out. So these are more jalapenos. These are crimson carry-ons or carillons. You can kind of see, well, actually it's straightened up really well. It was really just bent over and kind of growing along this, coming forward, and then kind of came up. Same with this guy here. This one's a little bit more obvious how it was growing funky, but I got it to go straight up. And oh Lord, I can't even find it. It's got flowers, and they're white flowers, so I know it's some kind of a bell. I just don't know exactly what it is because it hasn't fruited yet, but I don't honestly think it had enough sunlight to really do much except just survive. Here, a little baby bell, little baby bells. Now that the sun and the air are getting to them, hopefully they're going to do more. Okay, here's what's left of the beets, because I'm using the ground as storage there, or the garden as storage there too, and the watermelons that are actually like have taken off. Again, I'm not sure if they're orange glows or if they're crimson sweets, but they're growing, and I'll figure that out when I'm finally able to cut one. But there's 1, 2, and there's a third one in here somewhere that's fairly decent sized. But yeah, they're going to be hopefully nice and big and juicy. It'll be the first time that I've successfully grown watermelon that tastes good, provided they taste good. And there's a third one in here somewhere. I just, oh, there it is. I see it. There you are, number 3. So, the garlic bed is empty now. I haven't replanted it, obviously. These are the cherry tomatoes. Again, like I really pruned this very heavily to cut out leaves that had blight on them. But then I had like nothing left. So what I ended up doing was I stopped pruning the suckers and the side shoots, as you know, because they're pretty far off the ground. So I'm now just kind of like tagging them up to the trellis as they go, so that I can get some kind of a harvest. But these are my honey nuts. These are my honey drops, and these are the blue boar berries. So they're starting to blush too, so they'll be nice. This over here is the wall, the wall of my Kajari melons. This whole trellis is going to be Kajari melons, and I am letting this go wild. But there's a baby one here, and I just saw one over here. It's a little bit bigger baby. Look how cute he is. He's so cute. He's gonna be yummy. And then, welcome to the jungle. Here's the jungle right here. It's gonna be a jungle probably until the end of August, beginning of September. I'm letting this tomato just go so that I can get something off of it because it's already starting to produce. So that's exciting. I'm getting, ooh, this doesn't feel very healthy right here. What's going on? I'm gonna have to come through here and check this out. I know I got a lot of beetle damage, you can see. There's a lot of bug damage here. And I'm not like super on top of this stuff. But I would like to get a couple. So yeah, so eggplants are doing okay. Jalapenos and jalapenos just loaded. Look at that. Look at that. Just loaded with fruit. Shout out to my friend Kathy from work who gave me the jalapenos. So, here is July 23rd. Have fun in your gardens.